think this first Expo has really been an excellent initiative. We have never done anything like this in ECA. I'm not too sure if there's even a regional economic commission that has done something like this before. So this is something that has brought out the real things that we do in ECA, our own initiative, the innovations that we do in ECA, but not just for ourselves. The work that we do for countries, because we are here as an economic commission to support countries, to provide the necessary solutions and tools to be able to respond to their own issues in the country. So this has been an excellent expo, and I think this is something that needs to be continued going forward. We need to bring the clients. And what I mean by clients is the countries that we serve to come to this expo so that they can see, they can hear, they can have an experience of the knowledge that we actually give them. But also, we want to integrate them in our expo because these are the ones that benefit from the work that we do. So we need to actually, in the next expo, when we have it, just to bring in countries who are receiving the support that we have. They can speak to themselves. They can become ambassadors. They would raise the profile of ECA because now you're talking about evidence-based solutions, capacities, and tools that are developed to the countries. That's one. The second part I think I would like to advise on this is that I think Expo must run as an independent activity, if you like. By definition, an Expo is a place where you go and showcase your work, your knowledge, your tools, your solutions to others and share experiences. That's what an expo is. You don't talk to yourself. So going forward, really, I would like to see an expo where we engage much more with the recipient of the support that we are giving and not ourselves, because it will not benefit us. We will still be talking to ourselves. So we need ambassadors. And the only way to do that, creating these ambassadors, or you call them champions, is to get an external person to talk for you. Then you can be able to not only increase your profile, but use that mechanism to galvanize and mobilize resources to be able to do more for the countries. I think it would be preferable that we have the expo, the next expo in Addis, and I'll justify that. I think the reason of coming back to Addis, the next expo, if it is changed in terms of its face, is that countries will actually come to see the institution that supports them because they've never had an experience of that. Some of them don't even know where ECA is. That's one. They will be able to interact with the much broader community of the ECA, the staff. If we go into another place, the problem is that there will be limited staff they'll be able to expose themselves to. So there's an advantage of coming back to ECA. We have a good venue, an excellent space that we can do a much elaborate expo. But maybe after that, when we've built the necessary experience and learned a little bit, we can begin to venture elsewhere where we think we can have an expo. One example, one possibility could be that an expo could be actually on the margins of the Conference of Ministers of Finance to whom we report to. So you have a 2-3 days expo before the conference. You don't mix it, but you have it as a pre-event. That would be one way of doing it. So wherever the Conference of Ministers, you have an expo. Because the ministers come with the experts, they come with UN agencies will be there, and then you're able to exhibit the products that you produce at ECA. But also, one of the things we should be looking for as we go forward is that there are other sectors that we need to work with. The academia. The academia, they need to be exposed to the solutions that we provide to be able to do what practitioners do. So we need the academias, but we also need the private sector. I think ECA has not been very good enough to be able to engage the private sector. And we need to be selective. Who do we want to partner with in terms of providing solutions and tools and so forth? I think we need to look at the private sector and see if we can leverage on that. We've seen during COVID in some of the work that we did, when we worked with the private sector, Google, Facebook, and so forth, IGRI, they came back with solutions that were able to provide immediate to the country. So that engagement. And also what we should realize that the private sector, some of them, they have actually larger tools than we do. They have more information, more data. So we need to interact. Those that manage this, for instance, the satellite dishes, satellite equipment, is the private sector. And they have the money to be able to do all these things. So I think that is the private sector, the academia, the public itself, but of course not forgetting the civil society. They have a voice. They are the ones that are close to the society. they want to speak on behalf of the citizens. I think we should be able to engage with them.